Chocolate truffles are already a very little recipe. Most only call for 2 ingredients. Today we are going to be swapping one of those ingredients and ending up with chocolate truffles that have even bigger flavor. See how beautiful that is? The only ingredients you'll need are crème fraîche and chocolate. Typically, homemade chocolate truffles hinge on chocolate and cream, so a ganache. Crème fraîche gives it a totally different personality, but still from a distance looks like that classic chocolate truffle that I think is so awesome and festive around the holidays. So this is a specialty ingredient in France. It is cultured cream. I think of it almost like a butterier cousin to sour cream. It has that tang and that oomph, but it has a little bit of, a softer personality. And what's cool in heating it up is that it doesn't curdle when it's heated, so that's perfect because in this case, we are using the hot crème fraîche to very gently melt the chocolate. So we are just gently melting the crème fraîche. Just give it a little stir, and this happens really, really quickly. So if you can't find crème fraîche at whatever grocery store is near you, it is actually very easy and I would say very fun to make at home. You start out with heavy cream, say like a cup, put it in a jar, stir in a couple tablespoons of buttermilk, and that is going to act as the culture that is going to culture the cream. Just put it on your counter for like 8 to 24 plus hours until it thickens, and it almost looks like, I don't know, like like somewhere between a plain yogurt and a Greek yogurt. It's gonna be really luscious and creamy, and it's gonna taste amazing. But a lot of stores carry it right now. It's getting much easier to find. So we don't want this to be like actively boiling. We just want it to be hot so that it can melt our chocolate. I have 8 ounces of dark chocolate here. Go for at least 60% cacao, something that is bittersweet and intense and sultry, I would say. I really like how this dessert leans into the tanginess, the bitterness. It is not a dessert that is going to knock you out with sweetness, which I actually think is perfect around the holidays because you're probably having a big meal beforehand. This is a really nice, just tiny little bite that isn't gonna overwhelm you in any way. So 8 ounces is equal parts by weight chocolate to crème fraîche. This is a bit heavier on the cream component than some other recipes. This is on purpose. It makes the texture really silky and, ooh, did you hear that? Yeah. Okay, I'm just gonna lower the heat a tiny, tiny bit because this is ready. So our texture is gonna be really silky. The flavor is going to be really buttery. A lot of recipes actually include butter as an ingredient, but we don't need to because we are really leaning into the crème fraîche. And then we also get that like really pleasant sourness too, just coming in behind the chocolate. So now this is hot. I'm going to cut the heat and we are going to sprinkle in our chocolate. So the hot crème fraîche and the hot pan, that's doing all the work on the chocolate. Made sure that all the chocolate pieces are covered by cream, and I'm just gonna let them do their thing for like a minute. They're doing all the hard work, and then when we stir it, that's gonna do the finishing touch and melt the rest of the chocolate. So I started with chips here. You could get a block of high quality chocolate, something that you like love the taste of plain, and chop that up. That would be delicious too. But I don't swap in something like milk, which I love. I love milk chocolate. But here, the crème fraîche is adding that creaminess. So we want to start with something like quite dark to begin with. Now that our chocolate is all melted, it looks very gorgeous. Is 1/8 teaspoon of salt. Very, 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 very small amount. I tried it with a 1/4 teaspoon when I was recipe developing, and it was noticeable, which is not what we're going for here. I really like salty desserts, but that's not the point of the chocolate truffles. The salt here is more meant to balance everything. So it's balancing the richness, it's balancing the bittersweetness. It's just kind of keeping everyone in check. I am pouring this into a baking dish. I'm gonna pop this in the fridge for like 1 to 2 hours, just until it's scoopable, like ice cream that you would want to eat right then. The timing will depend on how big your pan is, how cold your fridge is. Whoosh! This is YouTube magic. We have chocolate truffles that are all ready to scoop. I made these earlier today, so it is chilled, it is set up, but it is not rock hard. You don't want to put it in the fridge and then forget about it for 8 hours, because at that point it's not going to be scoopable. Which leads me to one of my favorite kitchen tools of all time. I call it my cookie scoop. It makes a great, what would you call that? Clacking sound? Click clack. Yeah, let me know in the comments what sound you think this makes. Oh my God, that's gorgeous. I mean, that is a perfect dome. When I was little, my mom and I, if we were at the mall, we would go to this chocolate store and we would get these chocolate truffles, like, just like 1 or 2 for each of us. It was just like a little, like, it made you feel good getting a little chocolate truffle. But I think the cool thing about chocolate shops and chocolate truffles is that the shapes are all very different. A lot of them have flat bottoms. So I think don't feel tied to the perfect sphere. I don't think the perfect sphere exists, but with the help of Cookie Scoop, the perfect dome does exist. So we just stop right here. We're not gonna get our hands messy. We're gonna let Cookie Scoop do all of the hard work. If your Cookie Scoop at any point is starting to seem a little fatigued and your chocolate truffles are not coming out as clean as those first few scoops, you can just give it a quick rinse. That'll just kind of give it a nice reset. And if your chocolate is a little too cold, you could be patient and just wait a little bit longer without it on the counter. Or you could heat up your cookie scoop under hot water, dry it off, and that'll help you get a nice clean scoop too. Now that our chocolate truffles are all scooped, we are all ready to decorate them. So I have a lot of toppings here. You can do as few or as many as you want. It'll be 1 per chocolate truffle, and then have fun from there. So what we have today is malted milk powder, cocoa powder, which is very classic, smashed up salty pretzels, toasted sesame seeds, a little crunchy, a little nutty. We're gonna see what happens. Shredded coconut. I have it raw, but you could toast it if you'd like. And rainbow sprinkles. So with really light, powdery toppings, cocoa just adheres perfectly. See how beautiful that is? Our chocolate truffles are all ready to eat. I think I'm gonna try that malted milk ball truffle. What do you want?
Coconut.
Coconut, okay. Coconut for Justin. Malted milk for me. This is so flavorful. We made one tiny little adjustment to a classic chocolate truffle recipe, and it has so much awesome, tangy, creamy, buttery flavor. We didn't need any butter, we didn't need any cream. The creme fraiche is doing so much hard work behind the scenes. Even though I bet if you gave this to someone, they might not be able to pinpoint the difference. I love all these fun toppings. I can't wait to hear what would you roll your 2-ingredient chocolate truffles in. Let me know in the comments, share ideas. I can't wait to hear from you. And make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel, and I will see you next week for another big little recipe. Can we just redo it?